How are you guys doing? Okay, now is our last session of WDMS. It's a panel about mining in Latin America. We can just have a minute to for them to set up. The host will be Chris. Chris is part of our Bitmain marketing team. And David Burkett, lead MWeb developer at Litecoin Foundation. Koby Lazar, founder at Eucalyptus Labs. Nick D'Amico, Bit Patagonia, he's the VP and CTO. Patricio, he's the CEO of Southbit Holdings. We're still waiting for some of the panelists, so if you want to stand up and stretch a little bit, feel free. Dima, just stretch a little bit so I'm not awkward on stage. Yes. Okay.
Well, I think everybody's just going to introduce themselves. Microphone's on.
Chris.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the panel?
Yes. I think that everyone here is starting to see the potential in Latin America. I've been excited seeing what's happening in Paraguay, in Argentina. Countries all over Latin America have a real need for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrencies and proof of work. So I think that even more so in the US, you're going to see very fast development now that everybody's kind of focused on the fact that you have energy, you have hydro resources, you have a lot of resources in Latin America that are waiting to be developed. So we'll see what happens. But today, we're lucky to have with us Nick and Patricio with Southbit and Bit Patagonia. So we definitely have experts in the field here who are some of the companies that are leading the charge in their respective countries.
Great.
So hopefully pretty soon we'll have a full panel up on stage. It's coming. Yeah. Good things take time. You gotta wait sometimes, but I appreciate that all of you are here in this room with us.
Yes.
Everyone is coming though, right?
Everyone's coming. Okay. They're coming at some point.
That feels good.
Yes.
Okay. So, should we start with introductions maybe?
Yes. Okay. The sexiest man in the money industry.
Yeah, so
Nick.
I spoke around an hour ago. I'm Nick, the CTO and VP of Bit Patagonia. We're currently mining in southern Argentina and expanding to other parts of Latin America. Patricio?
Yes, hi everyone. Patricio Rodriguez, I'm CEO of Southbit. We are a Bitcoin company in Latin America too, and mainly in Argentina, focusing hosting services.
Okay, so guys, what do you think is, not talking about mining, but talking about just the culture of your countries in general, what is something that people might be surprised to know about your country?
Yes, probably in many aspects, I think in particular in Argentina, no one realized that the weather in the Patagonia region is very similar to the north of US. It's something that in every conference I try to stress and highlight. And obviously the other thing is the Vaca Muerta energy site that we have there, that is a huge opportunity also. So I think the resources and the climate is something that the industry haven't realized yet. And as soon as they realize, they're going to come.
Absolutely. Agree with Patricio. Also, Argentina is a very fun country. There's a lot of stuff to do besides just mining. And it's also, I think it gets a bad rap when it comes to international business. But like I said before, a lot of multinational public companies have their bases for Latin America in Argentina.
That's good to know. So, and on that note, like, what are I'm hesitant to get into kind of some of the content in the panel, but what are some of the challenges that a business would face in Latin America?
Okay, I take it. So the first challenge obviously is regulations. So you need to understand how the regulations works. Obviously taxes in much parts of Latin America. Argentina is not the exception, obviously. But right now the main topic is imports in Argentina. And as we said in our presentation, we have different paths, real good paths to solve that. And additionally, there's a lot of education right now we are making all the industry to the authorities to understand what are the benefits of this industry coming to Argentina, investing in us, and all that. So I would say the main challenge is to understand, obviously, the market condition, the complexity of the capital markets, capital restrictions there, and again, to have the right partner for that.
Absolutely. To complement Patricio, all countries have different problems, different conditions, basically different obstacles that you have to overcome. Like Patricio said, and I said in my presentation, Argentina, it's when it comes to importing. Other countries have problems, well, not problems, but they have to be solved in terms of how the crypto's taxed. Another one is building out the infrastructure. There's a lot of countries that maybe have potential for hydro, but it hasn't been built out. There's other countries that have very large gas deposits that don't have the infrastructure to produce power yet. But basically, we've been working closely with governments of multiple countries to basically create the correct conditions for it to be a good business to be mining crypto.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Patricio. Margie? So the rest of the panel is coming? They're coming. Okay, we're good then. So I've had the opportunity to visit Argentina. Oh. Yes.
It's my first time in Latin America. I don't really know much about it. We're based in Norway, where it's pretty civilized, let's call it like that.
Lots of taxes, though.
If you have EY on board, they tell you how to play the game. But my question is, you've mentioned the taxation topic of mining. Could you please share something, both of you, on your experience and what is the current framework with regards to that topic?
Yes, sure. Yes, regarding, well, Bit Patagonia has been mining for several years in Argentina. So we have a track record of mining in Argentina. Obviously, it depends when you put the operation and when you put the final pool, and where is the wallet that is mining afterwards. So you have different ways to structure the business. You can structure it all in Argentina, or you can structure it in different parts. Obviously, the operation will be always close to the source of energy, that's it, and the infrastructure. But then the Bitcoins could be mined in somewhere else. If you mine in Argentina completely, then you will have the regular income tax. You don't have VAT for mining. That's something that the local IRS already solved like several years ago. And then you already have the income tax. So it's 30% plus an additional 5% if you retire the dividends. So that's the current taxation in Argentina. Then our approach, we are doing it in another way in terms of trying to help the people that is abroad, and we take the part related to the hosting services as a service. Then we export that service to the real firm that is mining at the end of the chain, and that will be depending what that legal entity is based on. Okay. Correct. And as an export of services in Argentina, we don't have to pay taxes. No, there's no withholding tax because, well, Bitcoin has a lot of advantages with other assets, right? In terms of how you transfer funds. So as you are not going to move funds through the traditional banking, then you don't have any withholding taxes. Then obviously you have to pay the bill of the hosting services through the regular market, and that's it. You pay the export of services through the regular market, the official market, and we close the gap. in our case, we pay our taxes, our local taxes in Argentina, and you will pay yours in your country.
So basically, if the client is having with you a certain type of a computerization contract, I guess. And there is nothing, I mean, I understand they cannot withhold the tax, but at the moment, the scheme of computerization is acceptable. That's what you're saying. Is it the same in Paraguay, or how does it work? I understood Argentina, thank you. With regards to Paraguay, if you could share.
I don't have too much experience on Paraguay. Basically, our network in Latin America is mostly focused on Argentina, Uruguay, and Peru, which have relatively similar structures. And basically, the sale of computation is something accepted. And basically, what we're doing is producing something digital. Until profit isn't gained in fiat, it's not something taxable. So basically, the taxation happens when it's converted to fiat. If it's not converted to fiat, it's not taxable.
So now I want to give everyone a chance to make their introductions. So guys, why don't you introduce yourselves and your companies? Well, or if you know.
So I'm David Burkett. I write code. Is this working?
I don't think so. Is it on?
Hello?
No.
This will work. No, that's working, right?
Hello. That's working.
All right. I'm David Burkett. I write code for Litecoin. I'm the MWeb developer, and I also work for a mining company during the day, and just various mining ventures in the past.
I am Koby Lazar, and I'm the CEO at Eucalyptus Labs. Which one's working? All right, I'm Koby Lazar, the CEO at Eucalyptus Labs, and we're working on a few different consumer end products for the Kadena blockchain. So Kadena is a fantastic proof of work blockchain that has really exploded in terms of mining, especially since Bitmain has contributed so much of their efforts to promoting their KA3. And we're really excited to be not only building out a crypto wallet for Kadena, but finding new ways to innovate and bring consumers into mining and elevate their opportunities around the world, really to have an equal chance of getting into mining like a lot of us did back in 2012, 13, 14, when you could still just use your laptop a bit earlier. So we're trying to lower the barriers.
Well, guys, whoa, this one's really working now. Okay, so thank you for the introduction. I think a lot of times when we look at mining, mining is a base for digital currency operations in many countries. So one of the questions that we're wondering about is, what does digital currency adoption look like in Latin America from like a daily life perspective? How is it being used in these countries? What are the like economic or policy choices that are kind of helping this develop? And anyone could answer.
I'll take this one. In a day-to-day view, basically, that we're seeing that crypto's being adopted in Latin America, something that was a huge explosion was remote working in Argentina, specifically for programmers, given that the local economy couldn't really pay international salaries when it comes to programmers. So we saw this huge influx of a lot of remote workers starting to make international salaries thanks to crypto and being able to receive payment in USDT, DAI, or Bitcoin directly. So that's something that I think we can see in everyday life that's changing people's lives.
Thank you. And Patricio?
Yes, thank you, Chris. Yes, I think that nowadays major banks in Latin America are thinking how to deal with crypto. I mean, they are entering the space. The same with, there are major also payment methods that are entering the space too in Latin America. They are making the first move, even because, well, the penetration is very high because of the inflation, because we need that to preserve our value, because the currencies are depreciating very fast in much of the countries of Latin America, particularly in Argentina. We had like a world record on that. But well, we are seeing much more, and every time that traditional banks and traditional payment methods are entering the space in Latin America, and this is going to happen very soon. I mean, where we will start paying in cryptocurrency, that is going to happen very soon, we think.
So I landed, and the first thing I saw was taxis accepting Bitcoin, which was really exciting. So I saw the Bitcoin logo and recognized right away that as education is really increasing in the space, more and more people are just finding it easier to enter and learn about crypto and get their hands on the plethora of tokens. I mean, there's over maybe 2,000 or 3,000 tokens and coins on CoinMarketCap. And with a lot of those localized projects, whether it's your Dogecoin specific to your region or elsewise, that's really the local element of cryptocurrency and community interaction, which has driven a lot of the market, is now propelling more people to get involved in crypto, to get excited about crypto, and likewise with mining and much more in Latin America.
I don't have a whole lot to add to that, just to reiterate the inflation out of control, various places, Argentina, Venezuela, everywhere. It's a great way to retain value, maybe not the past couple of days, but historically it's been rather good at holding its value, much better than the local currencies in those places, so it's crucial there.
And if I may, I think crypto often is viewed during these times of downturns or like a global recession as suffering, but really this was a response to a financial crisis, was the first Bitcoin white paper. So the issues that we're facing today of inflation and of really intense regulation and trouble that everyday people are having just transmitting money, those exact problems in 2008 are the same ones that are reemerging right now, such as inflation. So when we have those bigger problems, it's actually, in my opinion, going to accelerate the adoption of crypto and not hinder it when Bitcoin goes down 10, 20%. So hopefully we'll be back here in 2 years talking about the next dip, which will kick ourselves, but it's all about the longer term perspective, solving those problems.
Thank you. And guys, so coming from the perspective of someone that doesn't know very much about Latin America, if I'm a miner and I'm interested in proof of work mining in Latin America, what are the best spots? Like what should I be looking at? And what are you seeing developing in terms of mining in these countries? So list of countries and what's going on.
Okay, so I will start with that one. In Argentina, I think one of the most important things we can have like PPAs fixed price. I think that was a great trouble in the US, for example, or other countries where they have variable rates and then you are kicked because prices are going up, and that's a headache in the future for every miner. I think it's part of the troubles that we're experiencing and the distress of several companies right now. So I think that's a key part. The other things is what we have been highlighting in our presentations, again, in terms of the opportunity that we have. We have a window of opportunity for investment in infrastructure right now. That's another huge opportunity because of the capital market exchange rate versus the official restrict rate. Everything that is legal with bonds, that you can buy bonds in US dollars, dominated in US dollars, and then you can sell it dominated in pesos. So there you have another premium right now for establishing an operation in Argentina. And finally, the resources that we have that are available there, like there's a surplus of distribution, a lack of distribution of the energy, but there's a lot of energy sitting there waiting for us in Paraguay, in Argentina. It's exactly the same.
Absolutely. To complement on Patricio, for crypto mining, basically what we need is infrastructure, which is power, internet, and people to be able to maintain the miners. I think Latin America in general has a lot of, it definitely covers those 3 points. Obviously, we depend on regulation, we depend on taxation. That was a question before. In terms of power, Argentina has a ton of power. It has fiber optic over most of the country covered. And in terms of brain power, when it comes to staff who maintain the miners, who have to innovate, make immersion cooling systems, basically, there's a huge, huge market for that in Argentina. Paraguay also has a lot of power. Building out sometimes has its issues, but it's definitely something that's super good for the economy, and it's good for the people, given that they have a lot of excess power. Uruguay is a smaller country, but it has a lot of foreign investment. They're missing out a little bit on the electrical infrastructure, but they're working to make something bigger. And for the last few months, they've been running off 99.6% renewables. And Peru, same thing. It's something that we've been studying quite closely, and they cover basically those three main pillars that we have to cover for mining. So Latin America definitely has a lot of potential when it comes to mining.
I think we've also seen the potential when we look at user education and just everyday people who kind of need to go through that education process of what is crypto and how can I personally benefit from it, to then make the jump into saying, okay, I'm willing to accept this industrial mining operation down the block. I also think that when it comes to mining in your backyard or people that are setting up shop mining, it's important to keep a lot of the benefits of any industry in that local region. So in Paraguay or in Argentina, making sure that it's still the local people who are benefiting from the technologies that are being derived from their own power grid. So if we're just to let industries come in and start setting up mining shops and taking advantage of the resources and the people, in the end, I think that's going to set a really poor ethos for Bitcoin and for proof of work coins overall. So it's really important that we keep building the community side and we keep building everyday consumer education hand in hand with miners, so that everyone is well prepared for the benefits of entering cryptocurrency and reaping the rewards of mining.
Thank you. Okay, no, that's
Yeah,
fine.
you could pretty much have something.
So I guess what I'm wondering now is, what is one piece of actionable advice that you would give to someone that's a miner, proof of work miner, that's looking to enter the market that you're in? Like, what should he do, or what should he think about? Is there any little secret that could help him?
I'm going to use a phrase that's very used in crypto, which is basically do your own research, which is important. To have a due diligence process, make sure you have the right partners, research on your partners, the same way you would do in any other country that you're not a local in. If you're from Europe and you want to expand to Canada with a partner, you're going to research your partner. This is the exact same process. Nothing's going to be different. You should do your research, go see the location, make sure they have what they say they have, make sure that the fiber optic line passes where they say it passes, talk to local providers, and basically work with your local partner in that country to make sure everything makes sense and everything is what they say it is, just like you would do anywhere else, or you should do anywhere else.
Yes, I totally agree with Nick. You must do your due diligence, right? It's the same in every country. And well, find a trust partner there. You will need to find one. And in our case, we always say, make a proof of work. I mean, at the end, we're talking about proof of work, okay, all the time. So, well, start small, do a proof of work, and try it. And when you find the right partner, when you find the right place, well, make a test. Make a test, and I think that's numbers speak themselves.
Yeah, even in a plug-and-play industry, sometimes of putting the miner into the wall. So far, I think we have do your own research and trust and verify. And another thing to add for anyone entering the space is plan for a very long-term mindset. Even if we're in a bear market, a bull market, just preparing for a really extensive journey of getting into crypto and forming those deep partnerships and relationships. I think the most successful firms, from miners to exchanges to wallets, have been those in the space for a very long time, planning to stay around for a long time, and it shows through the partnerships they make and through the products they design that are, set to last.
Yeah, the equipment quickly loses its value too. You've got to plan for that. A lot of times, you'll see these companies, they'll scale large with all the latest, greatest miners, and then within a year or two, they're old news. You got to plan for that. Your share of the hash rate is going to go down over time without new continual investment, and you never know what the price is going to do. Of course, it's just always plan for the worst, and don't over leverage, because that can quickly get you in trouble. So, yeah.
That's good advice. So guys, to get ready to kind of wrap things up, I would like to know kind of your thoughts on what you see happening in the areas that you're in Latin America in like the next year or 2 years, like in terms of adoption and just for mining in general.
I think in terms of crypto adoption, it's going to keep climbing. Back when I talked on stage, the world economy isn't doing too well. So I think it's just gonna, this is an alternative to what has been working for the last 200-300 years. So it's time for something new. So I think adoption is gonna keep growing. So basically when it comes to crypto, that's my insight. When it comes to mining, basically mining is bringing a ton of investment in renewables, which is something that we have to work on. And that's growing nonstop, and we're seeing new projects, improved technology when it comes to solar panels. Argentina in the next year is going to be deploying 700 megawatts worth of wind power, and there's another 2 gigawatts basically projects waiting to be approved. Uruguay has a bunch of other projects as well. So I think we're going to see a very large expansion of renewables, which renewables, when it comes to power storage, it isn't really an economical option, and it doesn't make too much sense. So renewables have the advantage that usually they're overproducing the power. So there's a huge opportunity for mining there.
Thank you.
Yes, in my case, I think exactly the same than Nick. And additionally, I will add that I'm seeing Latin America like leading this revolution in many aspects because of the needs, you know. So at the end, this is a decentralized world we're thinking about. And obviously, if you think at the world nowadays, it's totally centralized in the North Hemisphere. So if you look at Latin America in the South Hemisphere, then you will see that decentralization is a huge opportunity for our countries. I totally agree with what you had said also, to develop ourselves in a different way. With Web3, I mean, blockchain, all this industry, obviously mining too, is a great opportunity for our countries with knowledge, with experience, and just with a computer, a guy there could, you know, change his life. So I think it's a game changer. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen. I mean, the timing, no one knows exactly when it's going to happen, but everyone in this room is believing the same. So I really optimistic about what is going to happen. And in the mining side, as I mentioned before, I think that Latin America nowadays, geopolitically, is a must. I mean, and it's completely underdeveloped right now, and with a huge opportunity. So well, I think the next years are going to be very exciting, hopefully, and we will have a lot of things to work together with all of you.
I think there's a reason that crypto has grown so quickly in the past 10 years, let alone the past 2 or 3, and it's because just the spark of advertising and informing the basic concepts of financial freedom, of true custody over your own assets or your own decentralized protocol involvement. Countries have been left out of the global conversation of finance and of resource management, such as energy and internet infrastructure. And I think finally, through not only decentralized technologies, but just the rapid de-escalation of prices and of the barriers to entry, they're finally having a say. So it's really, our direct investment in Eucalyptus Labs is working with, for example, our head of community, Fernando Garcia, who is our head of support and community, who's built out all of our translations, who's working hand in hand with a lot of local communities. And again, it's about proving that these protocols can bring a lot of value to your own self, your own family, the people around you. And the second that someone gets the first spark of understanding behind proof of work or crypto, it's just about how you can accelerate and provide the best resources to get the technology into their hands. And
Thank you.
I share a lot of the same optimism as the guys up here, obviously. I think, yeah, the education is absolutely crucial. You know, cryptocurrencies are a really magical thing. Like, once you really get it and really understand, like, it's not something you let go of easily. And I think as long as there's enough people who've been exposed to this, who've seen the conditions that come from not having some kind of safe storage and easy-to-use currency, like those kinds of people, they're ripe for this. Like if they get a hold of it, they'll run with it. You'll see continued adoption. You know, and as long as it's popular enough, then hopefully governments don't get too involved, because that's one thing you have to worry about too. Is as currencies start to collapse, what if the government tries to prop up the value of those currencies by banning others? And I think really it's back to the education and outreach to make sure that the population knows the value of this and isn't going to give it up easily.
Okay. Thank you guys for being here, for being on our panel. Everybody, if you can, give a big round of applause for everyone up on stage. And we're looking forward to having more crypto mining, more proof of work in Latin America. Thank you all for coming to WDMS, and I'll hand things over to Margie. Okay, and we're off.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.